Shalom, 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 Israel. Give no praise to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Chakadash. The ones that was GMS Ruwa. So you teach you, I get out there pushing his word and truth and sincerity, risking your freedom in your life to do so. More so now than ever before because we're in some perilous times, okay? And we know that through the news and everything like that, man. This is some real dangerous times. So we're back again with Sleepy Joe and the Russian bear, okay? Vladimir Putin, man. Though he may be short, is a very dangerous man. So it says, Biden warns Putin over nuclear chemical weapons. And this is from political.eu. Also a good place to where you get your news from. It says use of, and I was just say this, man, we're considered spiritual watchmen, all right? So our job is to watch for things that's happening in the world, okay? Take note and warn the flock, you know, that these things are here and they're coming and they're not going anywhere, okay? All right, just to warn you of what's happening, okay? And to take heed, you know? So let's read this. It says, use of unconventional arms in Ukraine conflict will bring consequential response, U.S. President says in CBS interview. U.S. President Joe Biden warned Russian President Vladimir Putin not to use chemical or tactical nuclear weapons in his invasion of Ukraine, saying there will be a consequential response. Don't, Biden said in a televised interview with U.S. broadcaster CBS that is due to air on Sunday night. It would change the face of war unlike anything since World War II. Now, World War II was also prophesied in the scriptures. But they said somewhere north of 50 million people died. And we already know a world war is when all nations pick sides and they fight against each other. Which the scriptures say, the third war cometh, meaning third war or third massive war. All right? So it says Biden's warning comes after a surprise counteroffensive by Kyiv, putting Russian forces in retreat in Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region. The U.S. on Thursday announced it would send $600 million in military aid to Ukraine, which is also an active war, okay? What we call it is a proxy war, where you supply your lessers with arms to fight up against a greater enemy you have, which don't mean nothing, man. You know, and mind you, this is $600 million of taxpayers' money, but that's for another video. But they can send as much money as they want. It's not gonna stop the ultimate weapon, which is a thermonuclear weapon. You see? Reading on, it says, with its contribution totaling $15.1 billion since the start of the war in February, meaning that they have a lot of stake, and they hope that Ukraine could take down Russia, because their ultimate goal is to take down Russia, a power structure that is directly interfering with the power structures of America. You see? But this is only going to culminate into a greater war, all right? And what the scriptures say, the blocking out of the sun and a complete wasteland of the North Country, Babylon the Great. So it says, ask how the U.S. will respond if Putin were to use chemical or tactical nuclear weapons. Biden said it would be consequential. Now let's look up the word consequential. Let's look that up really quick. Consequential damages, otherwise known as special damages, are damage that can be proven to be occurred because of a failure of one party to meet contractual obligation or breach of contract. All right, so apparently they have some type of contract together, and it says they'll become more of a Perrier in the world than they ever have been. Now, Perrier, what does Perrier mean? Outcast. all right, which they already outcasted Russia. Nobody likes Russia, even though Babylon the Great, aka America, is actually doing the debauchery, the fuckery, and it says and depending on the extent of what they do will determine what response would occur. CBS released experts of 60 Minutes interview ahead of its scheduled broadcast on Sunday. And eventually they're going to broadcast, nuclear missiles have been shot. So let's get this. Isaiah 13, verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they should not delight in it. All right. Let's get the whole chapter. Salakia. 13. Salakia. Forgive me, brothers. Isaiah 13. Let's start at... let's jump down to, so Isaiah 13 and 16, and they, verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. All right, which is the Russian armies. All right. And against them, which should not regard silver, and as for gold, they should not delight in it. Right, you can't buy them off, the anger, you see? It says, and their bows also shall dash their young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare their children, meaning once they shoot these thermonuclear destroyers, women that's pregnant, young women, young children, everybody, old, should be completely obliterated. That's the judgment of the Lord. Verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, in Babylon, is always mentioned in Babylon. Now we know ancient Babylon is in Iraq. Ancient Babylon is Iraq. So it's not talking about, ancient Babylon. Why? Because it's going to give you more details. It said, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms and the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency should be as when the Most High would do Sodom and Gomorrah. Now that never happened to Iraq. Sodom and Gomorrah got hit with fire from heaven, and that land is a heap of salt pits, sulfite balls, and a desert. It's literally a desert land. All right, you would have never knew that life used to live there, but that's what the Most High is giving a comparison of future Babylon the Great should go out the same way. And it said it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be indwelt from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the forest shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant field. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. And all those are talking about creatures that live in desert terrain, and pretty much talking about how Babylon is going to go out. So eventually it's going to culminate into a thermonuclear war. So with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Shah, Bashim Chakadash, the Bon Shah, Zimes Wura. So I tell you, I'm out there pushing the word into and city, risking freedom and your life to do so. Till next video, Shalom.